Dani Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, well, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick. Good morning, Frederick. TGIF. It is Friday, April 12th. I'm your host, Dani Gurry. Good Morning Frederick is live in the Everything Frederick and More group on Facebook, as well as on YouTube on the Everything Frederick Live channel. If you could just take a minute, subscribe to us on the channel, share the videos, and comment and like as well. This is something that's free to do and can make a huge impact for some of these small businesses that we're highlighting. I do want to welcome our newest advertiser, Dreamscape Slumber Events. I want to thank you for signing on. And I do want to really quickly just thank all of our sponsors. I'm going to get out of this picture here. Oh, yeah. Here, let me see if I can do this. There we go. So you can see them. I want to thank all of our sponsors for signing on. Really, I know you guys are kind of backing me, and I appreciate that very much. So if you have a minute, please make sure you go and support these businesses because they are supporting us. So I really, really appreciate that very much. In the show description, I put the link to join me on the program live. Maybe you want to say happy birthday to someone. Today is my brother Marco's birthday. You can hear him middays on Key 103 from 11 to 3. I want to wish him a very happy birthday. He's been very supportive. We do a lot of fun stuff together, so happy birthday to him. And if you want to shout somebody out and wish somebody a happy birthday, you can do that. You can either do it live. I would love that. Just click the link and I'll bring you on and would be happy to have you say happy birthday to somebody. This show is all about you, Frederick, and I would love for you to join me. All right, today's giveaway, we're giving away a pair of tickets to the TJ Frederick High Bingo on Sunday, April 21st. You're going to want to text the word bingo to 888-465-2944. The number is scrolling across the screen with a reminder that that is our giveaway for today. So if you'd like to go to the bingo at TJ that is hosted by TJ Frederick High Safe and Sane Committees. It's at the Lewistown Fire Hall on April 21st. Just text bingo to our number and I will hopefully pick you. We've got another packed show today. We did not slow down for a Friday. Today I chat with Eric Stevens from I-9 Sports, and I also had the chance to hang out with Coach Ed Corporal, the head coach from the Frederick Flying Cows, and Kyle Heister of Snowie of Maryland is joining us today as well. I want to thank the sponsor of our program, Frederick Window Tinting, locally owned, serving Frederick with automotive, residential, and commercial tinting solutions. Actually, if you follow them on socials, they used several layers of tint during the eclipse, which is kind of shows how powerful that tint can be. Go to frederickWindowTinting.com. All right, weather today, morning showers with some wind, high of only 64. I don't even call that a high, that's kind of low. Tomorrow, more of the same, even a little cooler with wind, high of 63. Sunday, warming up to partly cloudy skies, high of 80. Then Monday through Thursday, it's going to be in the 80s. Monday looks the best with sunny skies and a high of 79. So if you've got any PTO, you might want to take it a few days next week because it is getting warmer, and I love that. Hey, if you're scrolling through social media and you see a cool post that you would want me to highlight during the show, tag me in it. I love good news stories, or copy the link and you can message me or email us or text it, any of those ways. We love to hear good news, and even though I'm on social media almost all day, every day, I miss a lot of stuff, and especially in the Everything Frederick and More group with thousands of posts a week, and that equates to several hundred a day. I miss a lot of great stuff. So email me the details, everythingfredericklive@gmail.com, or text 888-465-2944, because we love good news. And we call this segment the Feel Good File. Eric and Aisha Stevens have brought I-9 sports to Frederick and Carroll counties, but they're way more than this sports franchise. They are the hosts of the annual Harlem Wizards versus Team Frederick game. Have you been to that yet? Over the past few years, I think this might have been the second year or third year that they did it. They have raised over $30,000 each year for 5 local nonprofits that serve kids in Frederick. It's an unbelievable event that they do. They started their own nonprofit at I-9 Sports, which provides grants for low-income families to play sports. It's funded through the profits from their concession stands at the I-9 Sports games and from the Harlem Wizards games. They also find time to volunteer and advocate for sleep and heavenly peace, building and delivering beds for kids in need in Frederick. They're Impact Club members and volunteers with United Way. They really are doing good in our community, and I got to chat with Eric about I-9 Sports. In sports with us today, Eric, how are you?
I'm doing well.
So I think we met when you guys first launched, or I guess came to market with I-9 Sports, or soon after. When was that?
Yeah, so we just had just passed our 3-year anniversary. So just shortly after COVID. So we came about 3 years ago, and we were kind of just trying to navigate post-COVID and get our youth sports going in Frederick County. And it was a exciting time, and still is. So, yep.
Yeah, well, what I love about I-9 Sports, I have 2 kids, and the sports situation with young children seems to be you're either all in and giving your kidney, or there's not much in between. And what I love about I-9 is that kids can try a bunch of different sports, and there's no like huge commitment other than I think it's once a week.
Yep.
And it's instructional, and they have fun, and they get to learn the game before you really commit further. Would you say that that's kind of the basis for I-9?
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head pretty good there. So, we have 2 main focuses, and one is to make it fun for kids, right? We want them to fall in love with youth sports before they get into that competitive world, because it is its own world, right? If they choose to go that route at all, right? We also want to have options for kids who, don't necessarily want to go that route. They just want to play sports for fun, and aren't looking to compete at the highest levels. They just want to enjoy it and, get together on Saturdays and keep it simple, right? Keep it lighthearted. So, in that aspect, we don't hold tryouts. We don't bench kids. We let kids play different positions. They all get playing time. We're led by volunteer parent coaches, but we also have an abundance of staff out there every Saturday, so that no team or no kid is left kind of high and dry, right? And then, the other thing that we try to do really well, which doesn't really exist in youth sports, is make it convenient, right? When you think of youth sports, you don't think convenience at all. It's probably the last word that comes to mind regarding youth sports. So there's a few ways that actually we found as parents, that we could make our leagues specifically more convenient for those parents who want their kids to be involved in youth sports and want to get all the great benefits that youth sports offer, but like you said, not have to give up a kidney or their firstborn child or their home to do so, right? So
Yeah.
what we do is so number one, it's time, right? Parents, a lot of parents just don't have the time these days. They're working multiple jobs, trying to make ends meet. So we do all of our sports one day a week. So practice is always held right before the game,
That's
regardless of
awesome.
age, regardless of sport. So it's depending on the age, it's either a 30-minute practice followed by a 30-minute game, or a 45-minute practice followed by a 45-minute game. And that largely allows parents to have their weekdays back, or
Yeah.
the rest of their time back. Also, the other thing that we do for those parents who have multiple kids who might want to play different sports, we hold all of our sports, or many of our sports, at the same location at the same time.
Wow.
So, for example, our big location is Ballinger Creek Middle School. And if you were to stop by there on a Saturday in the spring or fall, even the summertime, you would see we have t-ball, soccer, flag football, cheer, tennis, all happening at the same place at the same time. So
Holy cow.
imagine having 3 or 4 children who are different ages, wanting to play
Yeah.
different sports. You could now spend a few hours on a Saturday with us, rather than every day of the week. Mom's running this way, dad's running that way. There's no home cooked meals. Homework's happening at 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
We can literally give a family their life back Monday through Friday, and just say, come spend a couple hours with us on Saturday. We have Kona Ice out there. We have food trucks out there. It's like a big party.
I was just going to say, it's like a festival atmosphere. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, we have 500 or 600 kids that'll come and go in a 4-hour time frame at Ballinger Creek Middle
Holy
School.
cow.
Yeah, and then
Well, I
our
do
second
remember,
location is,
when my kids participated, there would be like practice at like 3:45. And
yeah,
I'm like, how are you supposed to do that? Like, people who work and all of that. And you're right, 2 kids in different sports, it's been impossible to juggle. So I love that theory. And it doesn't mean because it's a once a week sport that the kids aren't learning the sport, or they're not engaged in it, or they're not, getting the most out of it. I do think we have gone so far into this 5-day a week commitment from 5 years old to a sport. There's been so many studies that show that that's not good for anybody. It's not good for the athlete. They get burnout by the time they're 12, 13, 14 years old. They don't love the sport anymore. And I just think your program allows kids to love lots of sports and be well-rounded, and maybe find something they never even thought that they would participate in.
absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, give the kids a chance to miss it,
Yeah.
So like you said, they start at such a young age now, and they sports specify, which is probably the worst thing you can do at the young age, because, every the amazing athletes will tell you not being sports specific at a young age is super good for them, because now you can go in and you can, every sport is going to give you a different athletic ability. It requires a different, a different motion, a different movement, a different coordination. So you're going to learn all of those movements and coordinations. You might start out with soccer before becoming an amazing baseball player, and you can attribute, maybe some of your footwork or your athleticism gained from soccer, to making you a better athlete in a different sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So 3 years old, that's really great, especially coming out of the pandemic. What made you choose this? Is it a franchise, national?
It is a franchise. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what made you choose the I-9 franchise to open here in Frederick?
Yeah, good question. So I-9, my first, so we have a 20-year-old child. He'll be 21 in May. We grew up in Germantown, Maryland. And when he was 4, we were eager to get him in sports. Like most parents at that age, it's like, hey, I think he's old enough. Let's look and see what's out there. So we looked around, and we found I-9 Sports was kind of new in Germantown area, and we gave it a shot, and we loved it. And I stayed with I-9 for 5 or 6 years. I coached all of his teams, every sport. And it was just a great experience. It was simple. It really kind of catered to those beginner and intermediate athletes. It was a great starting point. It let the kids kind of fall in love with sports. And then even when my kid got more competitive, we kept him in I-9 as well, and allowed him to get kind of see both worlds, right? So
Yeah.
he jumped into AAU basketball, or more competitive basketball stuff, and he wasn't the star player. He didn't start on the team. He wasn't the leading scorer, so he still played and got playing time, but it was here and there, hit or miss. He still got kind of a upgraded level of training, but we wanted to not allow him to lose his passion for sports, and let him just be able to have fun too. So we kept him 9-9 as well. So he loved it, and we did that until he almost aged out pretty much. And so my wife and I, fast forward, we moved to Frederick about 6 years ago, when our next child was born. So we currently have a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old. And when they hit that 3-year-old age, we looked for the first thing we could find in Frederick. And really, we were looking for the I-9 program because we were familiar with it. And we found out that it didn't exist here in Frederick. And both my wife and I work full time from home, and had a little time on our hands. And someone from I-9 reached out and said, "Hey, there's 8 I-9 franchises in the state of Maryland right now that are doing all right. And Frederick, has an open territory. What do you think?" And, we thought it over for a good while. And we really wanted to kind of put our mark on youth sports in this community. So we went, head first.
Yeah. And look, I think it's a really great alternative that many parents should consider, especially when their children are young or not sure what they want to do. Again, it gives you kind of that opportunity to try different sports that you may not even thought of. If there was one thing you'd want everybody to know about I-9, kind of wrapping it up into one kind of thought, what would that be?
Oh man, that's a good question. I would just want them to know that it was it's a great place for them to come, feel safe, enjoy sports, allow their kid to fall in love with it, and just kind of enjoy their time out there with us.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, is that it is pressure-free sports atmosphere, right? Which I think is lost a little bit nowadays.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You mentioned
go down this road with the conversation, but I'm going to just assume that it's you don't have the issues with the parents brawling in the stands, because it's more like a family of people that are enjoying time with their kids. So
it is.
Yeah,
it's a little more relaxed than a lot of competitive stuff. And that's great. I mean, we see a lot of returning families and kids, and we're on first name basis with them. And, you see everybody high-fiving, and kind of, it is like one big family out there, which is awesome.
Yeah. So what is it? So you can start as young as 6, you said?
You can start as young as 3.
3? Oh, wow. Okay. 3.
We have soccer and t-ball for 3-year-olds. Flag football starts at 4. Basketball starts at 4 or 5. Tennis starts 2nd grade. Volleyball starts 2nd grade. So we have a wide variety of sports. We even during the summertime only, we run a really fun league called multi-sport leagues. So in a 6-week league, they get to play 3 different sports. So every 2 weeks we change sports. And those kids get to kind of sports sample and find out what they really like, or just do all 3 of them, if they're in love with all of them. So,
well, what is one goal you have for 2024? Do you have any kind of objectives or targets you're trying to meet?
Yeah, so we want to expand a bit, So we started our first our territory, started at Crestwood Middle School and kind of moved quickly to Ballinger Creek Middle School, where there's a lot of room back there, a lot of land that we could kind of set up multiple fields at the same time. So we actually have 5 different fields that will operate at the same time behind Ballinger Creek. Then we expanded down to the Urbana Elementary area. So we also have a location there during the spring, summer, fall. And we're looking for our next location now. So, it's tough. We've kind of been narrowing down the search a little bit, but there's some good potential in North Frederick, between Monocacy and up in Walkersville area.
Yeah.
And then, even towards, Oakdale or Mount Airy area as well. So we actually have the territories of Frederick County and Carroll County as well, so we can expand, even outside of Frederick County.
Well, that's great. And I'm sure the parents in those areas really want you to come out, because I know as a parent, I'm mad that you weren't here when my kids were young, because again, giving up your weekdays, weeknights, and weekends for games, is just, for kids this age is sometimes just not necessary. You can go to i9sports.com. Check out all the sports for the seasons. You guys do have a summer camp program. So if you're looking to try to get your kids involved in something, keep them active over the summer, even if it is just to try out a bunch of different sports over a 6-week period, go out there, enjoy, become part of the I9 family, i9sports.com. All right. I want to thank Eric for joining me there. I9 Sports. If you've got kids who want to try sports or, don't want to make that huge commitment, you've got to check it out. And they are certainly a power couple rocking it. And we do love feeling good. And sometimes we feel good when we give back. So I'm going to ask you guys, if you can, to help me give prom dresses and suits and things to kids in Frederick area high schools. It is prom season, and we do unfortunately have many students who don't have gowns and suits and shoes and bags and all the accessories. So if you've got anything in your closet that is taking up space that you've been thinking, what can I do with this? We will make sure that every garment goes to someone in need. And if for some reason we have it left over, we will look to other organizations that are also doing something similar and make sure that they are fully stocked as well. And I also have the Scott Key Center's prom that I'm putting on June 5th. The Scott Key Center is a place for developmentally disabled adults. It is right off Rocky Springs Road in Frederick. If you've never been there, it is a great place. They do a lot of education. They do workforce training. And I actually have utilized the clients from Scott Key Center to help me in my previous roles where we needed bags stuffed for an event, and they would love to come and do things like that. I want to thank Alexa Bedwell. She is actually going to organize to get them to come out and help her, but they're wonderful, wonderful organization. So they are having a prom, their first ever, and I need some help with that. So I am looking to raise some money to cover the food for the 125 guests. If you can help financially, please go to scottkeycenter.org and click on the donate button. Also, if you've got a classic car, maybe a convertible, maybe a limousine, I'd love to give them rides around Key Stadium parking lot. So if you know of anyone that has the capability to do that, I would appreciate you passing along my details and letting me know. All right. Thanks so much for that. All right. Coming up after the short break, I chat with Karen Wolcott from Relay. Oh, no, I'm not talking to Karen today. That was yesterday. Who am I talking to after this? I'm not sure. I don't have any. I'll tell you who I'm talking with. I'm talking with Coach Ed from the Flying Cows. Yes, see, I'm right with it. Happy Friday, everybody.
All-in-One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
All right. A&S Construction is a locally owned and award-winning woman and minority-owned business located right here in Frederick. They specialize in roofing, siding, windows, gutters, patios, and decks. Call them at 301-703-2157, or you can email them at ansconstruction.net. And they do have a special offer for Good Morning Frederick viewers. $750 off any roof or siding replacement, or $50 off any roof repairs that you schedule before April 30th. Please contact Sandra and let her know that Good Morning Frederick sent you. And even if you just want to have somebody come out and look and see if you need any of those things, give Sandra a call. I want to thank her so much. All right, just this March, a new professional basketball team debuted here in Frederick. If you did not know, they are the Frederick Flying Cows. They play at Hood College, and we're home again this Sunday, and I got the chance to chat with Coach Ed, and I'm gonna I don't even know where his video is. Hang on one second. Thought I had it. All right, we're gonna pull it up. We're gonna just do it last minute here. Happy Friday. It is definitely a Friday. Here we go. Coach Ed from the Frederick Flying Cows. From the Frederick Flying Cows. And if you've not heard of the Cows, I don't know where you've been. They've got the best MC in the league, and they have the best coach in the league. How are you?
Well, thank you. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great.
It's been so exciting this season so far. You guys really have brought the entertainment to Frederick, and good basketball.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. We've been working really, really hard, and I'm glad that Frederick is enjoying it.
Yeah. So tell people who may not know a little bit about the TBL, the Basketball League, and your journey to get here to Frederick.
Well, it's the third tier of the NBA. Mm-hmm. So it's the NBA, the G League, and then it's us, the TBL, the Basketball League. The TBL has been in existence this is year 7.
Okay.
I've been with them since the very first year when they first started, and it was only 8 teams. So now it's like 38 teams now.
Oh, wow. All right.
So I've been there since the growth, since the inception of it.
So were you coaching before the TBL?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, before the TBL, I did high school. I was coaching college.
Nice.
In fact, I really started like here in Maryland, like in the 80s.
Okay.
And I coached in Montgomery County, and that's when it kind of really first started.
Yep.
I had a bunch of 5th graders, you know.
Turn them into little beasts?
But I coached them just like I coach these guys, you know. And I think about it sometimes, I was like, wow, I was kind of really mean to them, you know. But and you know what?
Mean, just direct.
But I was direct and very disciplined. But everybody loved my teams. They said they're really so disciplined. But it was so funny though. Everything we would work on in practice and stuff, and everything, when they would go out and play, they didn't do anything. They forgot everything. So that was probably my only losing season, you know, I ever had. But it was fun to coach. So that's what kind of started it.
Okay.
You know, so to be back in Maryland again, and now doing pro, I would have never thought about that 30-something years ago.
Yeah. So where do a lot of these players come from to form a team like that we have here at the Flying Cows?
Well, they come from like everywhere.
Okay.
All over the United States.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys have come here because they actually played with me in other places. Yeah. And then too, I've been coaching for so long, you know, guys just know who I am. They know where I am, and they want to come here and play.
Well, you must not be too mean if they're seeking you out and they want to play on your team. So we've got some really fun players that we've watched for the games that you've played, and we've missed you guys during the break. So glad to be back.
It seems like we've been gone forever.
It does seem like forever. So this Sunday at Hood Arena, 3 p.m., you guys take on Montreal, and you had a pretty good road run. Only one loss.
Yes.
And that was by 2 points.
2 points.
At the buzzer.
Right at the buzzer.
So we beat somebody at the buzzer,
and we
got back, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys prepare for the teams that you play? Do you spend time watching them, or you just focus on these guys and what they're doing?
Well, mainly the coaching staff. I spend a lot of time like watching film on other teams, kind of evaluating their personnel. But mainly with the guys, we'll do a scouting report, and we'll do some scouting, and we'll kind of tell them. But I'm more worried about what we do. Right. If we do everything we're supposed to do and execute things, we should be okay. And then we just kind of, as from the coaching staff of evaluation is like we just look at the other teams, seeing like what they do and what they don't like doing, and kind of what we can do to kind of expose them.
Yeah, to instigate them a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, for people who haven't been to a game, you get right up in it. Your fans are right there.
Right there.
And I love that we have so many players who seem to really enjoy interacting with the team. You get to meet the team after the games. There's a lot of real fan interaction, which I absolutely love, and I feel like we have a team that enjoys that too. Would you agree?
We got a bunch of hams, you know, so and they probably led by me too. You know?
I was gonna say.
So everybody loves the attention, but we really do love the Frederick community. They really wrap their hands around this team, and I knew that from the very beginning when I first came here. And you know, it's been a great atmosphere.
Yeah. If there was one thing you wanted people to know if they haven't been to a game or come in contact with you guys, what would it be? What would one thing you'd want people to know about the Cows?
Well, I want them to know that when they come see us play, it's exciting.
It is exciting.
It's very exciting, especially after that first game, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But you see a bunch of guys who are really determined. They love each other. They play well. It's like a big family.
Yeah.
And you can see the passion.
That's right.
That they enjoy playing with each other and playing the game.
Yeah.
So if anything, someone came to see a game, they were like, wow, those guys really, really play hard, and they really play well together.
Well, that's what I said the first time. It was not only exciting, obviously, but it is quality basketball, affordable family entertainment. I also love that too. And we're not even kind of halfway through the season yet, right?
No,
so
we're
we
not.
get
No.
the season ends kind of in May, and then playoffs begin, right?
Yeah, so the regular season ends in the end of May, and then we start the playoffs in June, and hopefully we can play all the way out through June and get to the finals, hopefully.
So are the finals in July then?
No, they're like around the end of June.
Okay, so there's still plenty of season left. Come see Coach Ed and the Frederick Flying Cows. It's so fun. You'll have a great time. And we really appreciate you guys being here, and look forward to the next game.
Well, I appreciate us being here, and Frederick having us here. You know, it's been fun, and I want to tell people, like, if you ever been to an NBA game, you know, it's exciting and stuff and everything. But this is, as far as like the TBL and being in this community, this is the closest thing you're gonna get to the NBA, and especially for kids, like. They will never ever like go to an NBA game and even get close to players.
No.
You know.
We have guys high fiving during the games.
So you actually get to have interaction and be close to them. You get to be right up on the floor watching. You can hear everything going on and stuff.
Can.
And I feel I have to apologize sometimes to people sitting next to me, like some of the fans, because they got the seats right next to us.
Yeah.
So they hear everything. It's like,
you can actually pay for that access. We have the courtside seats, which are really great. Yeah, right next to the team, and we have a great time during the games. It really is just a fun couple of hours. Again, affordable. You can't even go to the movies for what you can get a ticket for to the game.
And my family, this is the best part of it, me coming here back to Maryland. My family's here. You know, so my kids here, my grandkids here.
That's awesome.
And they had never seen me coach. You know, my grandkids had never seen me coach. My kids, you know, they're coaches' kids, they're growing up. So they're used to the hollering and all that stuff. But they have gotten into it so much. I mean, like, they're really involved in this, being a fan, which is pretty cool to watch them, because they bought the cow ears and all kind of stuff, and the capes, and they all into it, you know. And so, like, it's great to see, like, my little granddaughters, they, dancing with Mooey and stuff like that, and wanting the cape and the basketball and all that stuff. So, and watching just the other kids. So it's a great family atmosphere.
It is a great family atmosphere, and again, it is perfect for all ages, even the over 21s. You can go upstairs to the hospitality area and get some adult beverages if you want, but it's just a really fun, electric time.
Yeah, for the young adults, we got to keep some of the people off that floor. some of my players. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, look, we like to have a good time. It's so fun. We have some great people that support the game. The staff is awesome. We have George, playing the music during the games, and we play games during the timeouts, and it's just really a fun time.
Well, it seems like y'all having a good time.
I know.
Like doing, especially you.
I know.
You know, doing because I don't hear any of that. You know, so like,
I know. Thankfully, you're focused.
I do see you walking out there, and I hear some noise or something. So I feel like you got everybody having fun though.
Well, you're coaching as
yeah.
you should be. All right, you got to come out, cheer on the Flying Cows. GoFlyingCows.com. Scoop up your tickets for the rest of the home games this season. You will not regret it. It's a great time.
Yes.
Thanks to Coach Ed.
Hey, thank you.
All right, want to thank Coach Ed for that, and little quick maneuvering, but it is Friday. And I wish I had the video rolling when my mom got to meet her favorite player, number 2, Damian Daniels. She was so excited. And one thing I love is all the players love fan interaction. You get to meet the players after the game. They are more than happy to take photos and all that great stuff. So we really want to thank them, the Flying Cows. It's so much fun. You got to come out. Hopefully I will see you this Sunday. All right, if you want to know what's happening in Frederick, there is some place that you can go. You can go to the Everything Frederick calendar, and I'm going to pull it up here for you and show you. This is what the calendar looks like. And actually, I'd like to make a recommendation. If you're an event planner, you might want to check this calendar to see what is going on before you select a date for an event, or make sure you get yours on quickly, because you'll see here as we come more into the warmer weather, it gets quite crowded. All right, tonight. So if you can scan through the calendar, you're able to click. So let's see, tonight it's live music. You can click, let's see, where are we? Live music at the Cocktail Lab. You get more details here. You can actually click on any of the attachments and view them. You can also share to your own calendar. So you can head to the Cocktail Lab tonight, or you can head to the Met. They have the Squirrels show that we gave away the tickets for. They also have Comedy Night, which is musical improv, which I think would be so fun to go to. Tomorrow, Shred Day. If you've been saving those documents and don't know what to do with them, take them to ACNB Bank on TJ Drive tomorrow from 9 to noon. And there's a book signing with Lauren Vignola, Dublin Roasters Cafe tomorrow from 10 to 1 as well. Then flip to Sunday. Sunday is quite busy. Kicks off with Newmarket Cars and Coffee. It's their season opener, and it's expected to be quite big. It's going to be a gorgeous day. And it's also Super Sunday to benefit the Frederick Rescue Mission. And then at 3 o'clock, you're going to want to come see me at Hood College for the Flying Cows versus Montreal game. Doors open at 2. You'll be able to buy tickets at the door for that game. So if you decide at the last minute, then you can do that. Then Saturday, April 20th, it is the Lightbridge Academy grand opening celebration. I'm actually going to be broadcasting live or live streaming from 10 to 11 a.m. to kick that off. They're going to have all kinds of great stuff going on, carnival games, magic shows, all of that. I will show you on this calendar, if you click more details, it's going to open your own Google. But if you click on the attachment, you'll be able to see any attachments, flyers, and things like that that are attached there. So just a little hint on that one. All right, back to the calendar here. On the 27th, I'm going to show you how the 27th looks. Look at April 27th. You can plan your whole day and get a lot of stuff done, but it is quite busy. But Everything Frederick and More is so honored to be one of the main sponsors of Battle of the Bands coming up You're going to want to go ahead and get your tickets. The link is right here, botbfrederick.com. Just $5 to watch these bands battle it out to win a huge prize pack. All right, so if you want to get a copy of this calendar, all you have to do is text calendar to 888-465-2944. Again, that's 888-465-2944. Text the word calendar and you'll get a link right to that. Or just go to Everything Frederick and we have it saved up in the features area. All right. Whew, we are making our way through, and I want to thank everybody for hanging with me on this Friday.
Your next party with Dreamscape Slumber Events. Over 12 themes and customization available for kids, teens, and adults to enjoy. Don't have the space? We have solutions for that too. Search Dreamscape Slumber Events on Facebook.
All right, want to thank Dreamscape, and of course want to thank Shift Work and Play, Frederick's one and only co-working space designed to support those with young children. You can get your work done while your kids play, and there's nothing better than the nice, quiet space to focus, no distractions. You're not worrying about the laundry or answering the door or anything else going on. If you've got kids 18 months to 6 years old and you want to get some stuff done, go to Shift Work and Play, and the kids are taken care of. There's self-directed and supervised play. There's activities, and it's got great meeting rooms and dedicated desks, as well as private office spaces which have 24/7 access. Book a tour today at shiftworkandplay.com. They are right on Northeast Street, very conveniently located to downtown. Whew, all right, we are getting through. All right, the other thing I want to ask, if you know of anyone who would like to sponsor the program, obviously we would be great if we can do that, actually. Here we go. The sponsorships that we just relaunched, you can get live mentions, you can get an endorsement, you can get now a remote live stream, and you can add your 15-second video ad just like Dreamscape and all-in-one events and the Goddesses of Real Estate have done. And if you need the details, you can screenshot this or you can send an email, and I'm happy to email it through to you. Let's help keep this show going, and I'd love to add more content, and your support will absolutely do that. So maybe you work for an organization that should be a part of this, or maybe you just want to help out local businesses. We absolutely appreciate it. All right, that leads us to the market makers, and we've got some fun stuff happening here. We want to thank Atlas Wood Floors for sponsoring Market Makers. They're serving the area for more than 34 years. Go to atlasfloors.net, read the reviews, and schedule a quote for new flooring today. Atlas is all over the Everything Frederick and More group, but sometimes you guys post, hey, I want some new LVP, and it takes them a while to get down there. So if you can go to them first, get a quote, and then you won't have to look anywhere else. All right, I don't think there's anyone who owns a food truck having more fun as Kyle Heister, Snowie of Maryland.
I am here with Kyle from Snowie Shaved Ice. I'm sure you've seen him around town. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Awesome.
Very good.
All right, so let me understand why Shaved Ice and how you got into this.
So I got into it 9 years ago, so this is my 10th summer.
Wow.
And initially I wanted to do it with my kids. They were young at the time, and they worked about a season or maybe two, and then moved on to big box retail. So that became my job. I picked Shaved Ice because it's a fun summertime treat.
Yes.
And I always say I get paid to put smiles on people's faces.
You absolutely do. We witnessed that over and over again. What, when your kid, I started a business 13 years ago, had my kids working, and it lasted just about as long. And I even asked them to help me out with this, and they're just like, nah. So, do you run, is this by yourself? Do you have more than one truck? Tell me about that.
I do run by myself. I also have I have a truck and this trailer here. When needed, I do have other people that can work with me. And sometimes I have busier seasons, and in the spring is probably my busiest time. So I will recruit some young high school kids.
Yeah.
But typically I can do most of the jobs myself. I have a pretty good system down, so it's all mostly doable by one person.
I love it. I love it. What would you say is the best thing about what you do?
It's fun.
It's fun.
Fun.
You can't beat that. What do they say?
Yeah.
If you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life?
Correct.
Love
Absolutely.
it. Love it. What would you say is the biggest challenge that you've had being in business this long?
Finding some of the better events. Being in for so long, I've seen the events change, and the amount of food trucks too.
Yeah, right.
So it's definitely a lot more competitive. And then the events, they had made them grow April. Comes to fruition and not as good as you intended or thought, or that's part of the deal. I know my business is a seasonal business, and it's always weather related.
Yeah. And look, I think that, it's tough too, being an event planner, trying to guesstimate, especially if it's the first time, and weather, you guys know, it's a terrible thing. But, again, I think for what you provide and what you do, I think, it's kind of a home run there. Any particular goals that you have to achieve this year in particular?
I think as a business owner, you always want to kind of stay even or do better than the year before. You don't want to drop down because then things may be going wrong. And so we'll stay where we were before and just meet new people. It's always fun meeting new people. I'll treat other people.
Yeah. What's the best way for people to reach out to you to book you for an event?
It can be through my Facebook page, Snowie of Maryland.
Okay.
Or directly through my cell phone, 301-712-3514.
You got that now. You guys can all text it.
Yeah.
And then, so you post your events where you're going to be each week on your Facebook?
Not always each week. And that changes.
Yeah.
A lot of times I always go to different places or my events are scheduled. But I'm not the best about posting. I can do better at that for sure.
Yep. That's social media help. Maybe I can help them out there. All right. Well, look, we really appreciate the time today. Snowie of Maryland. This is Kyle. Check him out. You'll see his blue truck at events all through the area. And who doesn't love a snow cone?
Absolutely.
Gotta tell you. What's your biggest seller?
Blue raspberry. By far.
There you go. All right. We'll see you next time.
Great. Thanks.
All right, I want to thank Kyle. If you've watched every episode of Good Morning Frederick, you may have noticed I did 3 interviews the same day: Intense Barbecue, MR Cheesecakes, and Snowie of Maryland. We were at Green Meadows Petting Farm, and the wind, it was obviously unreal. And so I will get back with all of those guys. I want to actually catch them while they're working an event, but Kyle is just having a blast, and I think it's contagious fun. And be sure to find out where he'll be, and you can get yourself a blue raspberry snow cone as well. Okay, we are launching the Handpicked by Everything Frederick. What this is a reference sheet, or it'll be interactive, but a listing of all your recommendations. So please go to the Handpicked form and fill out your favorite places, like for a massage, and it asks all kinds of different categories, and I will be putting those together and posting them to the Everything Frederick group starting around May 1st. Now, of course, as things update and change, we will continue to update and change it, and this is not a voting contest. Whatever you recommend, I'm actually going to put it on the list along with everyone else's, so that somebody who might be looking for the best steak might have 8 or 10 places to choose from, and they can decide what is the best steak. We don't need to be voting to do that. And of course, there's the QR code and the bit.ly for the calendar as well. So you can text and I am happy to send those to you, or you can just scan the QR codes and you can get them as well. Don't forget today's giveaway, pair of tickets to TJ Frederick High School Bingo on the 21st. Just text bingo to 888-465-2944 if you would like those. And again, just want to thank the sponsors who are making this show happen. Without them, it would be very difficult to move on. My husband is awesome, but I don't think he's going to support me like that, and I'd have to look for a second or third job. So I really appreciate any support to keep me making this content. On Monday's show, I talked with Salyer McLaughlin about the movie about Frederick. Did you guys know they're making a movie about Frederick called Boomtown? I will also have a pair of tickets to Super Sunday. And I chat with Jessica from Dreamscape Slumber Events. That's all coming on Monday morning at 9 a.m. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode. Until then, please search for Everything Frederick Live on TikTok and YouTube. Leave your comments, like our content, and you can, of course, follow me on TikTok at DaniGirl1124. Just search for Dani, just Dani, and you will find me there. All right, be great, Frederick. Have an awesome weekend. Be safe out there.